Good morning, everyone. I hope you have had a wonderful Ignite, and thank you for joining us for this SMB session about scaling your small business with Microsoft 365 and Copilot. Over the next 45 minutes, we are going to take a foundational look at what is available for small and medium-sized businesses and how Microsoft 365 and Copilot can actually make a difference. My name is Bryan Allen. I am a director of product marketing in the Microsoft 365 and Copilot team. Joining me today will be Galan Abdisa, my teammate and colleague, also on the Microsoft 365 and Copilot team, as well as Dr. 𝗦𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃, who is here from Change Chemistry, and she is representing all of you in the small business world. And she's going to talk about how Microsoft 365 and Copilot has impacted her organization. And she has a lot of great stuff to say, so I'm excited for you to hear from her. Let me quickly just go through the overview of the agenda. We're going to talk, like I said, foundationally, what is available for small businesses within our SKUs and some of our products. We're going to do a little bit of understanding of what it means for you and how it can really impact your day-to-day, how employees can use these tools and how to effectively implement them. And then finally, we will talk about how you can keep these things secure and safe and compliant for your business. So with that, I am going to turn it over to Galan to talk about our foundational products.
All right, hey you guys. To begin, I really want to bring this down to the core foundation of what Microsoft 365 Business is. So Microsoft 365 Business is your unified platform for secure AI-powered productivity. But for a small business, what does that mean? What is secure AI productivity? What does that mean, and how do we make it real? So as Microsoft, we want to highlight 3 values and pillars that we found foundational for small businesses, and here are the 3. So the 3 are: show up with a consistent professional brand, stay protected as your business grows, and streamline your daily work anytime, anywhere. So we identified that small businesses find these 3 to be super helpful for them to grow and to highlight themselves in this competitive environment. So I'm going to go through these one by one. Show up with a consistent professional brand. And so what does that mean? So we have some core apps within our suites to help you elevate and stay ahead with the competitors. You know, sometimes small businesses are resources constrained and they don't have the resources of agencies to help them stay competitive all the time. So we have apps that help you support and stay elevated so you have a consistent message across. Next, stay protected as your business grows. It goes without saying, security is super, super important when getting ready in this AI frontier world. So we want to make sure that your business is well equipped for security features to stay ahead. And the last part, streamline your daily work anytime, anywhere. We want to make sure there are core apps that make you elevated throughout your environment, whether you're working remote, in the office. We provide it flexible for your team to make sure they're able to work any way they like. So now I want to kind of demystify kind of what these SKUs are. Sometimes small businesses could be overwhelmed for the different resources. They can either see the consumer offerings or the enterprise offerings, but sometimes they don't know some of the key SMB offerings that we have catered for them. So I want to demystify that, kind of go one by one of what the difference are between Business Basic, Business Standard, and Business Premium. So the first one, Business Basic, is our entry-level SMB SKU and lineup. This one is mostly catered for web and mobile apps and that experience, really to get SMBs into the door of our Microsoft 365 apps, and has some essential security features as well. And on top of that, with Business Standard, they get everything in Business Basic plus the rich desktop apps. And why is this important? We know some SMBs want to work offline and have some of the more powerful, desktop features with working on their operating system, CPUs, so they can get powerful, rich desktop apps with Business Standard. And there are 2 that we wanted to highlight here with Business Standard, Loop and Clipchamp, that does that for their team. So think of Loop as a digital canvas to bring all your core apps together, and Clipchamp are a rich desktop video editor to enable your business to build their brand. And the last part, Business Premium. This SKU is everything in Business Standard, plus some essential security features, such as Enter ID, Microsoft Defender Plan 1, to make sure that your company is well equipped and staying secure while they're being productive. And across the suites, every single suite comes with web-grounded Copilot Chat that's web-grounded and enables people, while they're working the core apps, to search through the web, get essential information, and to stay productive. So why is this important? They don't need to go to an external web page, go to use a chat or an AI agent to get work done. This is exactly where they're working. Whether you're working in Word, Excel, it's right there to your right and you can engage with the chat. And so that's super important, so you don't have to leave your streamlined work. So now I'm going to hand off to Bryan to talk a bit more about Microsoft 365 and the full end-to-end experience with that.
Thanks, Galan. One of the most important things, like Galan is saying, it's deeply integrated into our system, into our tools, where you do your work. Copilot Chat is a wonderful tool. It's built right in. But as you want to take it deeper and be able to make it truly one of your assistants, you want to go into the Microsoft 365 Copilot license. What that does is open up work-grounded environment, where not only is it doing chat, where it's pulling in from web, but you can actually tailor it to the work that you're doing every single day. So through Work IQ, it's this intelligence layer that brings in your data, your organization's data. It learns how you work, and it is able to contextualize that and bring it forward into what you're working on. So it adds a whole nother layer of intelligence to what you're doing every day. If you want to take it a step further, we have Copilot Studio. Copilot Studio is where you can make custom apps. These custom apps can do any kind of workflow that you can imagine. They can take on customer support, or they can manage your inbox, or whatever it may be. These agents can exist within your environment. You can customize them to your organization, to your own work plan, and all those different things. Agents will scale your business in a way that very few other things can. And then ultimately, we have these adoption and measurement tools. We have Copilot control systems that allow you to manage and properly implement and drive different things. It also can look into how performance is working. How are people within your organization adopting things? What is the data telling you? And all of this is helping you better understand, fine-tune how Copilot is making a difference within your organization. These are tools that can help you scale and be bigger. So, practical. How are we doing some of these things? Everyday workflows, right? Built within Word, built within PowerPoint, built within Outlook, Teams, all those things is deeply integrated. So within Copilot and Word, for example, you are drafting a document of some kind. Perhaps you're doing a creative brief, or you're doing a business plan, or doing all sorts of different things. Based off of your own data, because it's work-grounded, you can actually pull in different systems. You can tailor it saying, look at this article, or these different things, or this spreadsheet, or whatever. You can feed it these materials, and it will actually help you tailor and build and grow those things. Maybe you want to edit it. Well, if it's work-grounded, it'll start to edit based off of what it knows about you. Same with PowerPoint. You can actually have it create PowerPoints for you, have you tailor PowerPoints. Galan mentioned Clipchamp. We also have designer tools. So you can bring actual design elements to make them more personalized, make them more specific, help tell the story through visuals, all within your PowerPoint apps. One of my favorite things about Copilot is Facilitator in Teams. I am a remote employee, so I am constantly on Teams. That's what I do all day long. And it can be difficult at times because context switching across meetings and different projects can take a lot of brain power for me and makes it difficult. Facilitator makes it a little easier. Facilitator works within your Teams environment. It'll actually help you manage your meeting. It'll prompt you throughout the meeting of where you're at. It'll help keep you on the agenda. It'll tell you you're slow, that you need to pick up the pace. And it will also create some really great things, like it'll give you a meeting recap. The meeting recap will give you a transcript of the meeting. It will give you the tasks that were assigned throughout the meeting. It's one of the game changers for me. And one of the things that I really love is actually, like I mentioned, the context switching. So you can actually go to it and actually ask it to help you prepare for a meeting. So it will take your messages, your emails, all of those different things that are part of the discussion. It will prepare you and help you be ready for it. It'll say, I met with my boss 2 weeks ago, and here's what the context was. So it's really, really powerful to make your meetings more effective. Copilot in Excel. I'm not a data analyst. I would love to be a data analyst. I'm not. But I've found a lot of uses within Excel to help me understand formulas, analyze the data, huge data sets, these massive spreadsheets that have all of these different things. I can work with Copilot to help me glean the understandings that I need it to do. It can also take those things, build charts, build different visuals for you to make it really engaging and interesting. I mentioned this earlier, Copilot Studio. This is where you can make custom solutions for your business. So if you have something as, maybe you have a customer success or customer support agent where it's got an AI bot that's going to engage with your customers and send responses and get them learn articles or details or whatever it may be, you can build those. Or maybe it's as simple as, hey, I'm getting 300 emails a day and I need to prioritize my inbox so that nothing drops, and I want to make sure that my boss always gets a response from me, and it will do those kinds of things so that it will help you manage your work life and your data and your organization. Copilot Studio is a powerful tool. I don't think we've even scratched the surface of truly what's possible with agents and how we're making all these things happen. So why does all of this matter? Small businesses are resource constrained. We all know this, right? It's hard to compete with large organizations that may have more resources. This is a scaler. It helps you build and go into something that you're not able to do on your own. It helps level that playing field. Now you are able to be more productive, more efficient. You're able to employ agents to do repetitive work that free up your team and your teammates to do more engaging, more difficult, more thoughtful tasks. And really, if you can automate and do all these things through agent, it really enables rapid results, rapid change, keeps you agile, which is the biggest benefit for small businesses anyway. So, as you probably heard earlier in the conference, we have introduced Microsoft 365 Copilot Business. This is something that I'm very, very excited about. This is a 21, thank you. It's been a lot of my life recently, so this is something that we're really excited about. We know that Copilot can be out of reach for some small businesses. We are trying to make this more affordable, more accessible, so that you can actually engage with Copilot and actually have him do things for your work. It's $21 per user per month, which is cheaper than the existing SKU, but it retains all of the functionality. Everything that's inside the $30 SKU is also in the $21 SKU. So this is a fantastic opportunity. We really hope that it becomes a scaler for you and that it makes it more accessible. With that, I am going to turn it to Dr. Montgomery. She is going to talk about how she has successfully implemented this within her small organization and the impact that it's had. And they've done it rapidly, and she has some incredible things to share with you. So Dr. Montgomery, to you.
Well, first off, I would love for you to give yourselves a round of applause because you're still here at the end of a very long week. So thank you. All the enthusiasts are still here. I hope you had as an amazing conference as I have. Met some really wonderful people, learned so much, and I have so many ideas that I can't wait to go back and implement. Also, my health app is very proud of me. Okay, so the only reason I'm telling you a little bit about change chemistry is to put it into the context. We came to the community conference in May in Vegas, and mind blown, went back to our tiny team of at the time of 5 people, now we're 8, and started really diving in on Copilot. Love, love it. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk, like I said, a little bit more about our growth. But before I do that, why we have to keep up. So you may have noticed on the other slide, we are a small industry association with mission driven to change the world. Really want to work with some, and we do actually work with some of the largest chemical manufacturers in the world, some of the largest brands, and some of the largest retailers. And they are thousands of times our size. And there's about 1,500 individuals in those companies that we have to work with. So imagine 5 people at the beginning of the year, 8 people now. We have to keep up. We had a lot of disjointed systems. Sometimes we were duplicating work, which especially with a small team, you just can't do. Our data was in very different places. And so while we could get great reporting in one area, no way to connect those dots. And as Bryan was saying earlier, at context switching, just trying to keep up in all the different areas is just exhausting. So we had less time to get the important things done, a lot less clarity and strategic direction, and of course that was impacting morale. So, as I said, I want to introduce you to my favorite coworker, Copilot. This is just a little picture, shout out to Visio, of our current operational complexity. Every time I show this to someone, they basically want to run away. They don't look at it, but we have to live in it. So this is where we started. And what we realized was, okay, we've got our CRM, we've got our accounting data. We have a wonderful association management software group that even built us our own custom machine learning model, but we can't bring all this together and make sense of it. So what we came out of from that May conference was, wait a minute, we could actually bring all these things together in a way to actually understand the entire picture and not have these bottlenecks and be in a much more proactive place. So what we initially did, which I don't recommend you do, is we started playing with the analyst agent, and we thought, oh, we'll just throw all of our data into the analyst agent and see what comes out. And immediately it was like, you have a $300,000 cash flow problem tomorrow. No, we don't. The data is not structured. So we learned our lesson very early, and we started to work with a wonderful consultant to help us bring that API and structure that data in Power BI. Once we had done that, suddenly all of these things that didn't speak to one another were in one place, and we could actually learn things about member engagement or retention or just faster accounts receivable, all kinds of incredible things that allowed us to improve our forecasting. We named our custom agent Sully because we've all had one of those days where, a flock of chaos takes an engine down. Okay, so this is another big favorite thing of mine, which is you can create your own notebook in Copilot. And I have probably 12 of these right now, because anything that I'm doing over time, I want Copilot to help me ideate, to understand that context. As you can see, you can add all of these references. And so this example is around our HR issues. So I had to plan our staff retreat, and I said, hey, we use the Gallup Strength Finder. Help me come up with an awesome activity for our small team. One of the next pieces of that is I realized after having these conversations with Copilot over a month or two that I could go deeper, and I could say, hey, wait a minute, what are our superpowers as a team, and how can we actually take that into an organizational strategy that will be a differentiator for us? And as you can see, it was like, hey, I can absolutely do that. I want to point out this is my area of expertise, but working with Copilot got me there faster and farther. Okay, another custom agent. As I said, we're Change Chemistry. We're basically trying to improve human and environmental health through sustainable chemistry. So here's our little Beaker, and he helps us with Beaker Beat. We found it was really helpful to humanize our agents and also makes them very memorable. So what we have Beaker doing, I'll demonstrate here. So we have several reliable sources that it pulls from. It also has all of our data about our members. And so we say, hey, go out there into the web and tell us what our members are doing or what we should tell our members are coming up. And write us a blog post about it. And more importantly, now we are saving so much time in our communications and our program manager that she can actually take that time she's not spending doing this and put it towards programming. So the last piece of this is actually a webinar where she was able to take what Beaker suggested and turn it into something that our members could immediately get value out of. Okay, several things that I just want to cover. We initially bit off more than we could chew. We were so excited, but that might happen to you as well. Don't feel like you have to start big. Pick one thing that will be impactful and get started. In terms of data preparation, depending on what you're asking Copilot to do, what your agents can do, how sophisticated, just remember, the better the data is, right, trash in, trash out, the better your output is going to be. And also, all of this is a change process, so you can't ignore the human aspect. One of the things we do is we model. We take in quantitative and qualitative measures of success, and we share those. But one of the things we are always telling our whole team is AI is not a button. You can't just press it and expect it to either be on or off and work. It's a collaboration, so treat it like any coworker. Give it more context. Be patient, iterate. It's amazing what you can do in a very short period of time. The Beaker agent I was talking about earlier, we built that in about half an hour. We were testing it that day. It really is amazing. So, overall, right, stay calm. It's gonna, it feels like things are moving a million miles an hour, but you can do this. It will actually drive value and growth. As I said, we're a tiny team. Right now, we're saving about 700 hours of time, which is 4 full-time equivalents. We have better collaboration internally and externally. And I will leave it to Galan. Thank you so much.
Wasn't that awesome to hear more about a customer use case to use Microsoft 365? So I want to give Anna a round of applause for that. I'm here to talk about compliance and security and talk about the importance of how do you set up your small business to be ready in this AI firm. How do you stay secure? How do you stay governed in this world of data threats, insiders trying to take information? So I wanted to make sure here I'm highlighting some of the key features and capabilities with Microsoft 365 Business and some additional add-ons to make sure your small business is well equipped to stay protected. So the 2 things that are super important for small businesses to get ready in this world is to be secure and how to govern their tools to stay protected. So we hear from small businesses addressing oversharing concerns, protecting against data loss and insider risk, and governing AI use to meet regulations and policies. These are 3 top-of-mind issues that small businesses want to address when using core suites. So with Microsoft 365, we hear the feedback for small businesses. In September, we launched a couple add-ons as well for SMBs to add on Microsoft Defender Suite and Microsoft Purview Suite in addition to Microsoft 365 Business Premium. With that, Microsoft Business Premium by itself has a lot of some core essential security features at Plan 1. But with Defender Suite and Purview Suite, you get more advanced comprehensive security features that now allow you to manage and use your tools in a secure manner. And bundled together, you can save 68% with that. And this is to make sure that your whole team is well equipped and well prepared when getting ready for the AI world. And so some features that stand out are Insider Risk Manager, Compliance Managers with Purview to make sure you're well equipped and your organization can stay secure. So to highlight some resources for small businesses, we want to make it super easy for them to access. Sometimes, who do you reach to learn more about Microsoft 365, productivity apps, some of our security apps? So here I want to highlight some essential tools for small businesses to learn more about our suites and our security features. So Microsoft 365 Business webpage highlights, again, the core values that we find true for SMBs in our suites, and it highlights some key customer stories, and it goes one by one for some of the key use cases for SMBs. Next, I want to highlight, you'll find additional add-ons to the Microsoft 365 suite, so on top of productivity apps like Teams Phone. And then you'll learn more about the total economic impact report, kind of a detailed report of the return on investment for Microsoft 365 for your business. And then with Copilot, here's some 3 important tools for your business to get ready to find resources in order to not only get Copilot, but to also adopt it in the right way. you'll find key assets and frameworks enable for your business to get ready. And we have a whole scenario library for depending on what industry or what apps you want to use, you can learn how are other customers using it so you can be well equipped for your business. And we have tools such as the CIO Playbook and the AI Adoption Guide for you to be well ready for your company. So thank you. If you have any questions, we'll be right outside to tell you more about Microsoft 365 Business and why it's going to be super helpful for your small business. And yeah, thank you for attending.